the ethnic cleansing of the Jews of the Arab world has been all but ignored. Up until the 17th century, there were more Jews in the Arab and wider Muslim world than in Europe. The ethnic cleansing of hundreds of thousands of Jews from the Arab world in the mid-20th century was systematic, absolute, and unprovoked. There were 38,000 Jews in Western Libya before 1945. Now there are none. In Algeria, there were 140,000 Jews. Now there are none. In Iraq, there were about 150,000 Jews. Now there are none. There were 80,000 Jews in Egypt. Almost all are gone. Unlike Palestinian refugees, the 856,000 Jews who were made refugees from the Arab countries have never received any proper recognition or international financial help. Instead, there is willful ignorance. So, for example, in Cairo today, the Swiss, German, Canadian, Dutch, South Korean, and Pakistani embassies all occupy the stolen homes of expelled Jews. Adding to the injustice, some Middle East commentators like to propagate the myth that the Jews of the Arab world were never discriminated against, or persecuted or attacked. Not only were Jews often treated as second-class citizens with discriminatory laws and additional taxes imposed on them, but many were killed or injured in pogroms. For example, in Fez in Morocco in 1912, Constantine in Algeria in 1934, Rabat, Morocco in 1934, and Gabes, Tunisia in 1941, and Aden in 1947, in Iraq 1941, in Libya in 1945, in Aleppo in 1947. Nor can such attacks be excused as somehow being merely in reaction to Zionism. There were many attacks before this period. In 1807, in Casablanca, there was a massacre of Jews. In 1840, the infamous Damascus blood libel led to the kidnapping and torture of dozens of Jewish children. Other pogroms occurred in Aleppo in 1850, 1875, in Damascus in 1848, 1890, in Beirut in 1862, and 1874. In Cairo, Jews were set upon by mobs in 1844, 1890, and 1901 and 1902. In Alexandria in 1870, 1882, 1901 through 1907. Between 1864 and 1880, there were a series of attacks on Jews in Marrakesh. In 1907, in Casablanca, 30 Jews were killed. There were also a series of massacres in Algeria in 1805, 1815, 1830, and in Libya in 1785, and so on. Today, the only Middle Eastern state where Jews and Arabs cohabit is, in any number, is Israel. Reams have been written about the Arab-Israeli conflict, but the story of the Jews from Arab and Muslim countries remains shockingly neglected. Jews from Arab and Muslim countries and their descendants comprise over half of Israel's Jewish population today, not European Jews. Whereas Palestinian refugees still languish in camps, not a single Jew still claims to be a refugee. Yet the plight of Jewish refugees from Arab lands is an unresolved injustice. Thank you.